Hey, all right. I'm gonna set up a computer here. Turn myself down. This way I can monitor the chat. I've never streamed before in my entire life. So hello. If there are people here. It looks like there's 6 people here. Wow. All right. I just decided if I'm gonna do this, do it live. Why not? So, yeah, I'm just gonna do as much as I can here. Can you guys hear me, by the way? I don't know if there's anyone who can chat. I literally have never streamed before, so if you can just thumbs up or something in the chat, I will know. But yeah, so I have a bunch of mini PCs. I'm working on a series of mini PCs. You might have seen just one I did recently. Mini PCs as in like actual mini PCs, right? Like these here, these little guys. But I'm also working on some small form factor stuff. So small form factor pre-built upgrades is what I'll call them. So I've picked up over the past, I don't know, month or so, some of these things like these ThinkStation small form factor Lenovo PCs. This one here actually comes with a 13900, which is insane. Hey, what up? Hey, perfect. So we got Jeff CCC 195, swinging for dear life. Yeah, that's me too. I'm always swinging for dear life. Yeah. So yeah, I picked up one of these. This has a 13900, which is insane. And it also comes with a T1000, which is like a small form factor productivity type NVIDIA GPU. It's not really for gaming, you can, but it's meant to accelerate, video exports and graphic design and that too. So the 13900 is crazy in this. So I'm actually going to steal it and put it in a computer that I'm building right now, because I'm actually shifting like along this productivity line. So I also have this one here. This is a small form factor case. I've already partially taken it apart. Let's see if you can actually see me here. Come on, camera. Can I get it? Yeah, I guess you can see that now. This one here is like a productivity style machine as well. This one's mildly more upgradable. It actually takes desktop RAM, SODIMM. It takes NVMe's, and you can put in a little bit of SATA SSDs. You can put in a GPU, but it's only a single slot GPU, which is crazy. And it uses board power, but you can still do a fair bit with this. So this one here, I bought a AMD RX 6400. It's nothing special, but it's a single slot, meaning very thin. So it'll take up one singular slot there. And that's important because the slot actually sits right next to the power. So it's very limited. That's really the only one in Canada I could get. I think Intel has one, but I can't get it in Canada. So anyway, so I'm going to do this in another video. I'm going to do this one here. This one can take a 2 slot, like an A2000. I actually have an RX 3050, NVIDIA RX 3050, like an actual RX 3050, but it's a low profile 2 slot. That's going to go in here later. That's going to be cool. This one, it's actually, rather than having the GPU this way, it's actually tilted. So I can get a 2 slot in there. You can see right there, there's already one in there, 1 and 2 slots. So I can put on a 2 slot GPU. So regardless, that's not the point of this video or stream. I'm going to steal a bunch of stuff. So the 13700 is in here. 13700 from this is going to go into here, and I'll just put, I don't know, something in here, a 12100 or something like that. This one here has a 13900, which is such overkill. I'm going to take it out. 13700 goes in here. So it's going to be i7, probably an i3 over there for the little guy, and the i9 from this is going to go into my desktop. So what did I do? So I bought stuff because I have all these random parts. I have all these SSDs. I have RAM, 64 gigabytes. This is like decent RAM. It's nothing special, but 5200 megahertz RAM. I have SATA SSDs. What else do I have? I have a CPU, 13900 that I don't need. I have a power supply, which I'm going to go grab. Will be 1 second. I pulled this from a Lenovo Legion pre-built desktop, and I just had all these parts, and I was like, well, I have so many parts, let's do something. This is actually a not Rosewell, it's a Hydro FSP 850 watt power supply, which is good, and it actually has 450 watt ATX. So I had all these parts. I was like, literally the only thing I'm missing is a GPU that would use this, because this one weirdly doesn't come with PCI. So I'd have to have an ATX power based GPU. I don't have a case or a motherboard, but I have everything else. So I went to Memory Express. I don't know if any of you guys are Canadian, but we have Memory Express here in Calgary, and they had a 4050, an RTX 4050 for a really good price. So I bought it. It was like a return type product. It was 1,000 Canadian dollars, which is, what would that be in American? 680 American. And it's a top spec model. So it's 1,200 and it was another $200 off, which is crazy. So basically 680 American, if you guys don't know Canadian Maple dollars. And it's a relatively top spec ROG Strix Gaming 4080, which is pretty sweet. I had no intention of buying this, but I saw it on clearance and I was like, at like 1 a.m. I was like, all right, I'm going to go in the morning right when they open. I'm going to buy this and I'm going to build a PC because I have all these other parts so why not? For the cooler, I picked up an AK620 air cooler. This is an i9 that's going in here, but it's not a like 13900K. It's just a standard 13900. So in theory, I don't think it's going to run super hot. This is going to be like probably just enough to really keep that thing cool. If it was a 13900K, you might want like an AIO cooler or something, but this should be fine. And for the motherboard, I got, this is a pretty good, I could have got like they had an Asus one. It was an Asus Z730, I think it was. And they also had the 790S, which has less storage on it, and I was like, whatever, I'll just pay the extra like 60 bucks. So this system I'm actually not probably going to keep. I'm going to sell it locally to someone here, which is good. I mean, I'll just sell it for basically cost to offload all these random parts that I have. But I don't like to sell crappy stuff. If I'm going to sell to someone and have my name on the line, it better be something good. So this is actually a really good motherboard too. So we're going to have this here motherboard, which is nice. Should have lots of slots. 13900 non-K, non-F. 850 watt power supply, 64 gigabytes of RAM, not super fast, but it'll be fine, whatever. This is relatively low CL, I guess, fast enough, whatever. Whatever storage I feel like putting in, and a decent cooler, and a 4080. So that's going to be pretty sweet. So yeah, I'm just going to start building stuff. There's no way I'm going to get this done. I only have about 40 minutes or so. And then I won't complete it off video. I'll just come back later and finish it later, but we'll get that started. So first things first, I need to steal myself a CPU out of a small form factor computer. And I don't even know if this is going to work, this whole plan, but we do things on the fly. I get impulsive 2 a.m. Decisions that I want to do. I wish I could make YouTube horizontal, but it wouldn't let me. It was like, you are not allowed to do that, so I gave up. So I apologize, you have to watch me in vertical. It might actually be better. So this thing here has a blower style fan, which is pretty cool. I think you just pull that. Yeah. Oh, it just hinges, okay. So that's that there. That comes out. And we got ourselves a big hunk of metal there, and we're gonna take it off. And there should be a 13900 underneath. So I don't know if I'd ever buy a 13900 because they're pretty expensive, and you can get like a, I don't know, 7800 X3D, or if you're doing mixed use stuff, 7950 X3D would be really good. If you're an Intel bro, like the 13700 in here is great, honestly. I think 13700 for Intel is probably the sweet spot. For mixed use or gaming, you can do 13600. Where's the other screw? My dog is barking. I'm going to close the door because he's just going to bark forever. And there's a couple messages. Let's see what they say. Is this build for use or just to do it for fun? Honestly, just for fun. Oh, I'm going to test drive it, yeah. I'll probably use it for a few days. I actually have some SSDs that were sent to me from like companies and some parts to review. So this is like a Timatec, which is like, I wouldn't call them off-brand, but they're not major brand. And they wanted me to review it. And I was like, what am I going to put it in this thing here? So I was like, screw it, you know what? I'll put this in, I'll build this system. I'll use it to test a bunch of stuff. I have some other things that I want to test as well. I picked up a 1080 Ti. I want to do a video about that. And so I'm just going to use it for probably a few days, and then I'll sell it locally to someone here, basically at my cost, which is actually pretty cheap on this thing. And that'll be pretty sweet. And then someone else here, Basil. That was Swinging for Dear Life. Basil, or Basil, probably Basil. Hey man, I want to let say your Legion 7 Gen 8. Convince me, yeah. Slim set, yeah. The 7 Gen, so AMD I'm guessing is probably what you got. That's probably my favorite laptop of all time. Or Intel, whichever one you want to get. They're both basically the same. AMD has better battery. Intel has a little bit more power. Probably my favorite laptop of all time. I actually used that laptop for 3 months, 4 months, like last year. And I don't normally do that. I usually rotate systems because I don't have a lot of money. So I use them for a bit and then I offload them. But I had a couple of users on my Discord, or the community Discord. It's not my Discord. And they couldn't get it. It was completely sold out, and they're in Canada as well. So I was like, you know what, man? Like, I sent it to one of them, and then I actually ordered another one from Lenovo. And I was like, whatever, it's easy for me to get this kind of stuff. And I can wait. I always have a laptop in the meantime. And then that one came, and then another person was like, I can't get it. It's sold out. And I was like, all right, screw it. I opened it, tested it, and I sent it to him. So at cost, whatever I paid. So I was like, whatever. So I've been without a Legion 7 Slim for months now, and it kind of feels weird because I was using that as my like primer, and I really do love that laptop. So I ended up just right now I'm kind of just using whatever I have on hand. So I have like this that I'm reviewing. This is a Lenovo IdeaPad 5 Pro. That's the English name. I already imported it from China, so it's like I think they would pronounce it like Shaoxin, something like that. But you can buy these, but in Canada they don't have 32 gigabytes. They only have 16 or OLED. This is an OLED, so I've been doing that. I also have some other cool stuff. I'll bring it in while I do this. I don't know if any of you care about laptop stuff, but I bought this. This is a P1 ThinkPad with an RTX 4090 and a 13900H. This thing's insane. So I'm going to do a review of that. So I'm also using that in the meantime, which is crazy. Yeah, you got the AMD. Yeah, it's such a good laptop. A lot of people, there's a surprising number of people on the Discord that I guess run who have that laptop, and like from all different walks of life, and they all love it. And Rain, who's a guy on there who uses it right now, he's a moderator. He gets like crazy battery life, like 10 hours of mixed use on that, which is insane for a gaming laptop. It's very impressive. And then you can obviously game on it as well, but it's just really nice. So that's the system there. Oh, so this is the GPU. It's got a little T1000, but you can see here, I'll just show you because it's cool. It has a riser card, so the GPU goes in that way, and then it tilts up, so you can get a 2 slot in here. So eventually, you guys might find this cool. I don't know. I'll bring it over. Where are you, GPUs? So I don't know if you guys know this, but the beginning of winter, like, is a really busy time, and then all of this, basically January to March is like YouTube is like dead. Like, there's not a lot going on. There's no sales. There's no laptops out, so it's super boring for me. So I ended up just buying so much stuff. Updated Legion 5 Slim 14. I think there will be a new Legion 14-inch OLED AMD, but I'm not sure. I feel like, so this here has the new AMD 8845HS, which is a revised version of what you have in your laptop. And all that they've done is they basically worked out some bugs. It's a little bit more efficient, but it's the same chip. So I don't know if they want to do that where they put the exact same chip into this year's Legion for AMD, or they're waiting because AMD is going to be launching new CPUs in probably, I'm going to guess they're going to announce them formally in like maybe June, July, and they'll probably come out in like September, October. So I feel like, which is kind of around when the Legion 14-inch came out. So I feel like Lenovo might be waiting and putting out a new Legion 14 with the brand new AMD CPU, which would be awesome because that thing has a crazy good iGPU, which is like supposed to rival maybe an RTX 3050 or 2050, which is crazy if you know how powerful that is. That's like doubling the power from like the Legion Go and the ROG Ally. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this time of the year is brutal, man. It's like there's like no sales, and then all of a sudden Lenovo drops 50 different laptops. I got like a gigabyte laptop. I got an Alienware, like all this. I've just been buying laptops. Just like I have like so much credit card debt, but I was like, I can't just wait on these things. Lenovo sent me a couple, which is super awesome. But I buy a lot of this. I buy most of this stuff. So this is the 6400. This is not a powerful GPU, but it'll get the job done. That's going to go in here. It's faster than an iGPU by far. It'll be fine. This is the 3050 though. These are cool. I picked this up. This is, you can get these. These kind of just launched randomly during the winter. And this is a 2-slot. It's pretty capable. It's board power, right? So I actually haven't opened this yet. These things are really cheap in the US. In Canada, they are expensive, but there's been a couple of really good sales. So these are actually a really good price. It's a real 3050, so it's going to be capable. It's not going to be as powerful as a normal 3050 because it doesn't have any PCI connectors. It runs on 70 or 75 watts right off the board. So this is going to go in here. I think I'm going to put this one in here. But I'm going to do a comparative video. Like if you guys watch ETA Prime, he's kind of like an advertisement channel, but he advertises like one of these at a time, which is cool, I guess. But I've decided to do a comparison between all of them and just be like which of these is actually worth buying. This is an A2000. These are super expensive. These are like $800 because these are like pro level cards that basically people use for graphic design and engineering tasks and that. But I got this locally used. I was like, I don't know, 500 bucks Canadian, which is about 380 American. And that, oops, there goes my PC. And that might go in there. But I think other than the purpose of the video, I think I'm going to put the 3050 in here because that'll be cool. Like this tiny little thing with a 3050 and a 12700. That seems pretty neat to me. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay, so anyways, let's take out this here. This is the 139. I think this is the 13900. It better be, because that's what I was sold. I tested the system, but it was like 2 months ago, and I can't remember what it is. Let's use this. I hope it's not a K, which sounds crazy, but I actually, yeah, it's just a 13900. Okay, 13900K would be way too spicy for the system I'm building. Let's go RFD. Hey, man. Yeah, I'm like the only YouTuber who's like just like broke, but also buys really expensive stuff. So when I do my thing, I'm just like constant. RFD is Red Flag Deals. It's a Canadian website for if there's Americans here. It's like sick deals, which by the way, if you join my Discord, which you should join my Discord, it's not my Discord. It's nothing to do with my YouTube. It's just mainly Canadians and Americans. There's lots of other people as well, but we have like bot feeds for sick deals and bot feeds for RFD. So you get all the good deals like the moment they drop for Americans and Canadians. And then if you're from other countries, you can still come chill because we have lots of people from all over. And it's not has nothing to do with my YouTube. It's just I just run it. So that's the 13900. Oh my god, so much nervous taking out CPUs. Okay, so that's out. Let's put this on this piece of paper. Mr. Lenovo. Yeah, exactly. These actually are Lenovo systems too. But I'm like butchering them. Actually, legitimately butchering them. I'm taking their guts out. So I'm sorry, Lenovo. I took your refurbished computers and I'm gutting them for parts to build something cooler. If you guys ever wonder why I do so much Lenovo stuff, I mean, they do send me stuff sometimes. A lot of the ThinkPads and that. Actually, the Lenovo Legion 2024 Slim is the first ever gaming laptop I've ever been sent by any company. That was sweet. I always bought them before that, so that was really cool. But I do a lot of Lenovo stuff because in Canada, prices are really high. Like Asus is outrageous here. Outrageous. And, you know, it's really tough to get good prices here. And Lenovo stuff is just cheap, good price, good warranties, and I can buy them and like I don't have to. And then I resell my stuff, right? So I can resell them at a good price for locals. I sell most of my stuff local or on Discord. I sell a lot of stuff to people on Discord as long as they're in North America. And then I can sell them at a good price. Like I usually eat a little bit of a loss, right? But Lenovo also has a 100% transferable warranty. No need for any transferring warranties. So when I send them to people, I know you're getting a laptop that I bought with my money. I like this laptop, or otherwise wouldn't have bought it. And then you have warranty, right? And I only return stuff if it's broken. So that's the thing. So this is a 13700 non-K, non-F that came from this system. This is so jank. This is going into this little mini guy for now. Just absolute nonsense. Okay, so this system now has a 13700. This tiny little thing has a 13700, which is also crazy. If you guys have ever built a system and you do this, God, that sound. Okay, 13700. I might leave that in there. I think I probably will. This system will be pretty beefy for that. This guy is going to just get, I think, maybe a 13100 because I'm putting in that AMD. Where did it go? I can't, here it is. This AMD 6400. This is not a powerful GPU. It's good though, like it's 1080p. You can game on it, but like an i3 processor will be fine, honestly. A modern i3. More comments. When is the ThinkBook 13X video? Oh, I don't have a 13X. ThinkBook 13X. I have, this is a IdeaPad 14. Yeah, and then the 13X. Oh, that you're from RFD. Yeah, I didn't order that because there's a guy who from Red Flag Deals who wants to sell me his laptop, and I'm gonna buy it off of him. So once he's done with it, I think he needs it for another couple weeks. I'm gonna buy it off of him, and then I'll do the review. Yes, because I have this right now. I have another ThinkBook 16, wherever that is here. A bunch of stuff. Those two were imported from China, and the rest I bought locally. Asus is also extremely expensive in Europe. Yeah. European prices are crazy. Because I just got like those affiliate links through Impact, which is like, it has nothing to do with Lenovo. It's like a third party, and you can get some commissions through that company, and they basically pay that company, and then you get it, but you don't have to shill for some random brand. There's no, and I don't like sponsor. I don't like the idea of sponsorships. So as a result, I've been spending a lot of time on the UK and European Lenovo websites, Asus websites, just checking out what's going on over there. And Lenovo's okay, but it's still more expensive, but the Asus websites are crazy. If you guys watched my G15 and G14 rant video, I don't have any problems with the quality of the laptops, but the prices in Canada for the G14 is crazy. Like in Americans, it's like probably almost 40% cheaper. And I actually ordered the G14 because I'm insane. It's upstairs in my living room, and I'm going to do a comparison between the G14 2024 OLED and the HP Transcend 14-inch, which was 3,000 Canadian dollars. So that's going to be a W for Asus because they're killing HP there. So that's the 13900. I never thought I would buy a 13900 because I was always like, it's so expensive and it's just such a hot chip. And you don't normally buy the non-K and the non-F. These like kind of OEM chips, they usually come in systems. But wait, what am I doing? This doesn't go in here. This doesn't go in here, crazy. Nothing goes in here. Get out of here, system. You're done. You're done for. Look at me just talking. What else did I get? Okay, so that gets out of here. Now I start building my actual computer, now that I've harvested this Lenovo wasteland corpse that were computers. So this is I really like MSI motherboards. My thoughts on other MSI things are all over the place. They make really good GPUs. They make decent laptops, but they're kind of up and down. Just depends what you're buying. They're kind of expensive. Some of them are good, but they make really good motherboards. So this is kind of the more affordable high-end stuff, the Pro P lineup here. So this is a Pro, if you have just came in now, we have new people. This is a MSI Pro Z790P Wi-Fi. I've actually had the DDR4 version of this with I can't remember what it was, 10400 or something. And it was a really good board. No issues with BIOS. You have a lot of unlock capabilities, but the biggest thing is you get a lot of like expansion. You can see here 4 NVMe slots, PCI, 4 RAM slots, good VRM coverage. So whoever buys this off of me can beef it up down the road. You ordered the VivoBook 16 with a 4050 last month. We can, yeah. Jeff, are you Canadian or American or, yeah, I can't remember who was what. Yeah, if you're Canadian or American, Asus does have like, I wouldn't call it a good warranty, but they have warranty that you can exercise in North America. Actually, European's probably better, if anything, to be honest. Take advantage of that and just get it fixed. You might even have ADP, which is like accident protection. Yeah, I'm not the type of person who, like, if a computer gives me a headache, I return it. If you're still within 30 days or whatever it is, if you're Canadian, or I think 15 for Americans, return it if you can, and just get a new one. If not, just talk to them and be like, listen, this thing is a problem, and just exaggerate how much of a problem it is so that they fix it, basically. But I don't know, the VivoBooks are usually pretty good. which is interesting. They're usually like they're not superly well cooled or anything, but I've actually liked the VivoBook. So yeah, I wonder if they over tightened it. Is a possibility. They over tightened the hinge screws, which is always a terrifying thing. But yeah, so that's a 13900. I feel like that chip was heavy. Is that possible? Is that a heavier chip? All right. The crunchy time. Oh god. Is that just the worst feeling? So that's that there. I have, what am I going to put in now? I can put in the RAM over here before I put the motherboard in. Yeah, I'm in the US. I got it from Walmart. $400. Okay, I mean, yeah. 9 months according to the Asus app. Yeah, I mean, yeah, keep it for now. And then right when it gets close to expiring, be like, listen, Asus, I got a problem here. $400 is crazy. American, that's like, yeah, that's about six. Yeah, that's a really good price for that laptop. I have no problems with the Asus VivoBook. The only thing is, it's just pricing, right? If the pricing is crazy, then they're not worth it. But I find that the Asus VivoBook are actually pretty compelling from the Asus lineup because you can get them for pretty cheap. Otherwise, I often recommend. I have no problem with Asus laptops. They're just overpriced in Canada. I usually tell people like, wait for them to go on sale because they do. It just takes a long time. But the VivoBooks are a good price. So this is 64 gigabytes crucial memory. It's not super fast. It's 5600 megahertz. It should be fine. I have a bunch of NVMEs here. This is a Samsung 980 Pro OEM that I stole from some computer, probably one of these. I also have a 500 gigabyte MSI Spadium, which is not that great. What do I have here? This is the highest end drive you can buy from Gen 4. Let's put in the MSI for now. It's not a great drive, but whatever. I'm the type of person who likes to put my operating system on the smallest drive and then just put everything else on the big ones and use the operating system for nothing special. What case is this? Oh yeah, so the case, yeah. Honestly, I'm such a like basic ass. I buy the same case every freaking time because it's such a good case. That's really big, by the way. So, yeah, I'm gonna fit this in. No, it's too big. It's too big. It is a Fractal Pop Air. Fractal Pop Airs are like $120 Canadian, brand new with RGB. They can fit a 4090, full size 4090 in them. They can fit AIOs in them, but they're really slim. And they have nice, good cooling, and the price is right. I think bang for the buck, if you want a relatively small case, the Fractal Pop Air is just the way to go. I had two white ones, two white ones, and I'm doing a black one for this one for once. And I'm very biased towards white electronics, but the GPU that I got is dark, so I decided to just, and it's not going to be my PC, so. 13900 is definitely toasty. Scared? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I have another video coming on those Legions. So I have the Legion 7, that's a different screw. Legion 7 Slim from 2024, the Pro from 2024, and the 5 Pro from 2024. The 7i Slim and the 7i Pro have the same CPU. In that case, it's 14900HX. And the difference in performance is pretty massive between the Pro and the Slim, which makes sense. It's much slimmer. The 5 Pro with an i7 actually outperforms the i9 and the Slim. But I still don't think it's a bad idea to buy the bigger CPU. It'll throttle, but when it comes down, it has more cores, so certain types of workload, it'll still benefit, right? In gaming, it probably won't make any difference, but if you do multi-core tasks, things that would benefit video editing, that kind of stuff, the i9 will still outperform because it just has more oomph to it. So it all comes down to pricing. I actually just bought a ThinkBook 16P, which is, if you watch my video from last year, is basically a Lenovo Legion that has a ThinkBook sticker on it. And I actually got it with a, what did I get? I got an i5, actually. And because I just want to see how well it performs. It's a relatively thick chassis, slightly thicker than your Slim. So I think the i5 is going to be able to just absolutely sing in that thing. We'll find out, but and I went with the 3.2K screen because then I can do my comparison again, like last year where I talk about the two screens in the Legions because they do have the same exact screen. So that's a complete miss there. Am I just totally missing? Looks like it's in. Look at this LT. Look at this $100 LTT screwdriver. I'm such a shill. Okay, so that's the SSD, and we got the RAM in. So eventually I'm probably going to put in another one for the person and a SATA, a couple SATAs there. That's probably all I want to put in now. The cooler, do I want to put in the cooler right now? Probably put on the back piece at least. How many of you guys have built PCs before, by the way? I'm always curious because I do a lot of laptop stuff. And a lot of people used to rip on laptops because there was such a performance gap. Even like, I wouldn't say 5 years ago, but beyond 5 years and beyond, there was such a performance gap between laptops and desktops. And the chips were so hot in laptops that they rarely made sense other than for like generic use. But nowadays, laptops are really performant. That Legion 7i that I just reviewed, its time spy score was matching the 7900X desktop that I had recently from AMD, which is crazy because that's like a mega productivity CPU. So, and the graphical performance is surprisingly good. You're never going to match like a desktop 4090, right, or 4080. It just doesn't have the watts. But considering how much you can get away with a laptop, I'm always on the fence myself of, do I build a desktop computer, very powerful desktop computer for a really good price, and then just have like an Ultrabook like this here, just rock an Ultrabook for day-to-day use, or do I go hardcore and I just go like mega laptop and just use a laptop only, hook it up to a monitor when I need to with a dock or something. You can get like, I don't know, you can get like NVMe docks. I have one. You're actually sitting on it, the camera's sitting on it. And you can get tons of storage in that these days. With Thunderbolt, it really is much more capable, much more possible to turn a laptop into an actual dedicated like gaming desktop as well. So this CPU cooler is my favorite CPU cooler on the market. I like air coolers. I use water coolers as well, but I like air coolers because they are no hassle. This one is relatively quiet. It is the AK620. These guys make some pretty good stuff. If you watch Gamers Nexus, they always talk about this brand too. Bang for your buck, you get really good value out of these. This was 80 Canadian dollars, which is 55 American dollars. And that's like not even on sale. It was just the price of it. Outstanding cooling performance. It will trade blows with like a Be Quiet Dark Rock 5 Pro. Have you tested any of the super obnoxious cooling pads? Yeah, actually, so Raven, I have a video on my channel from, it's called Lilano, L-L-A-N-O. It's basically a, what is that laptop called? IETS GT500 clone. And I actually tested it on the Legion 7 Slim, which has a metal bottom, which is nice. And I did it on like stock cooling, like the laptop sitting down. Then I raised up the laptop, did a test. I put on a generic cooling pad, like with a fan. And then I tested the Lilano, however you say that, cooling pad. That's the one with like the foam around it and, you know, big ass fan on it. And it made a huge difference. Like I expected null results. I approached this like a scientific paper. I was like, this is going to be complete bullshit. And it was like 15 degrees decrease in temperature with like medium setting. The lowest setting decreased it by like 12. And I was too scared to put it on the highest setting because it was like so loud. But I was shocked at how good it was basically. So that's a really good one. I think in Canada, that model is very cheap, but not cheap in the US or Europe. And then the GT500 from, I think it's called IETS, however you say that, is the opposite. It's expensive here and cheap overseas. So either of those would be really good. I recommend you can just go to that video and just like go to the very end of it. I have like some Excel sheets that I talked through and really show the temperatures, and it's very effective. Whether you need it or not. I mean, if you have a big beefy laptop and you live in a cool climate, you'll be okay. If you live in a hot climate, like say you live in India or something like that, or East Asia in a hot area, they can make a huge difference. Here in Canada in the summer, it can get disgustingly hot too. You know, like as hotter than people would realize. So in that case, it does make a big difference. But in like the winter, I just like crack a window. But if you have a slim laptop, it can make a huge difference. So yeah, I don't know why I'm reading this. I've done this 40 times with this exact cooler thing. I don't think this thing has to come off, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, thank God. So I bought a Lenovo Legion Tower recently. I have a video on it, and I did a second one. I didn't make a video about it. And it was a pain in the ass because I had to take this thing off because it was like a weirdly oversized one. There was the only part of the tower that upgrading was a pain. I had to pry that off. It made me so nervous. Hey, it's Darth Jar Jar. Hey, what's up, man? No contact frame. Oh, the big plastic thing? No. These are really easy to mount. These AK620 by Deep Cool. There's also the Stealth IV, I guess, is the brand. And yeah, they're so easy to mount. Like, you basically put that in. Here, let me do this quick. I'll just do it real quick so you guys know what the hell I'm doing. Let's see if I remember how to do this. You put on that little X thingy on the back. 2020 G16. Yeah, the G6. The G14 actually runs pretty well. Cool is it? Cool is a word that maybe isn't necessarily applicable. That's not the right thing. I have a couple follow-ups on the G14 2022, 2023. I have a video for both of them. The Razor Blade 2023, and of course the brand new G14 as well. I'm doing a bunch of like retrospectives. I've recorded so many videos. I just need to actually produce them. But it's like laptop season, so I'm trying to do the Thermalright or Thermal Grizzly. What you want, if you are... So there's Noctua. This is my generic crap I just put on whatever systems that I get rid of. But this is what you want here. This is the best paste on the market, the Thermalright. So Thermalright TF8. This stuff is pretty expensive. I mean, it's 1.2 grams for 10 bucks. Expensive is relative. It comes out very thick, like almost like a glue. So you actually got to spread it. There's actually a spreader on there, but this stuff is like God mode. I have had no issues with this. I've been using it, especially on laptops, because it's such a thick paste. It doesn't squooge out and it doesn't dry. This stuff will last for years. So for laptops and especially GPU desktops, I use Thermalright TF8. This stuff is fantastic. You can get it on Amazon. I might have some on my storefront. I don't know. Maybe. Can't remember. Good stuff. But I mean, you can also use Noctua or whatever. Desktops aren't as important because there's just such a behemoth cooler. As long as you have a good paste, you'll be okay. On laptops, I'm actually migrating towards this stuff, which is Honeywell PTM. I have a few videos on it, if you can see that. Honeywell PTM 7950. It actually comes like a pad. I have a few videos where I show this. My Yoga 9i video, I actually put this stuff on. Lenovo uses this stuff as stock on all their Legions, unless they use liquid metal. They use one or the other. And it actually comes like a pad. You cut it, you put it on, and it actually, when you heat it up, cool it down, heat it up, cool it down, it turns into a solid like material. You can actually chip it off, and it's actually much more effective than thermal paste. You can use it on a desktop, but I don't think it's needed because the desktops have so much mounting pressure and such massive coolers. Doesn't make a big difference. But on a laptop, it's astronomical, the difference. I have a framework, if you know framework laptops. I bought one with Intel, and I put PTM on it. It was like a 15-degree decrease in temperature, and my Cinebench score went up by 20%, which is really cool. Replaces the mounting. Yeah, oh, you're talking about that. Yeah, so I had a system, that a Lenovo Legion desktop that I upgraded, and I actually got one of those, it's like a bracket you can buy. I got it off Amazon. It's like a printed bracket. It was really cool, really nice. It actually adds a little bit more structure to it. That thing was cool. I put that on. But these ones I just used the stock. Google Intel contact frame. You're kidding. Are you talking about the thing that goes around here on Creative Process? Like the piece that actually goes on the front of it? It's basically shaped like this here. Because if that's what you're talking about, I actually put that on a Lenovo Legion desktop like last week. And you replace this, if that's what you're talking about. You actually take this out, 1, 2, 3, 4. You pull that out there, you put the back piece on, and it's like a nice contact frame there. If that's what you're talking about, those things are sweet, and they're only like 10 bucks. I might actually buy one. Yeah, it's non-K. This is a 13900 non-K, non-F. So it's not going to boost like crazy. There's no overclocking capabilities. This motherboard is probably overkill. And I actually stole it from this this desktop, mini PC. I put a 13700 in here, took out the 13900 into here. So I'm like shifting parts up the line, which is crazy. Like a graphite. Yeah, if you're talking about that. I know, yeah, that's what you're talking about, yeah. I put that in the other machine there. So that's that there. Jar Jar. I also picked up, I don't know if you saw on Discord, but I picked this up for a crazy price. An ROG Strix. It said 1,200 Canadian. It was actually 1,000 Canadian dollars. It's just an open box. 1,000 Canadian dollars is 670 American dollars, which is crazy. Like, I had no intention of buying that, but I saw it online for super cheap, and I thought, I'm just going to, I have all these CPUs, RAM, all these extra parts. I'm going to build a system, basically. It'll get rid of all the extra parts. I'll enjoy doing it. I really like building PCs. And then, honestly, I'll just sell it to somebody here in Calgary for whatever my cost was, which is pretty low because most of these are salvage parts. Like, I'm moving them up the chain of command, basically, from smaller systems. So it's a weird thing. And I don't want a 13900 in that little PC for the purpose. It's going to run too hot. So it's going to be better served in this one here. I was thinking of selling the chip itself, selling the RAM, and, you know, getting rid of these things. But it's such a pain in the ass to do that. You know, sell individual parts because everyone wants a good deal on them, which is fine. But if you just put it together in a system, someone who doesn't know PC building, you just give them the system. You sell it for cheap. Yeah, that GPU was crazy, right, man? That was crazy. I actually have a 7900 XTX that I bought locally. Calgary, by the way, if you guys don't know, Calgary has a really good used market here. Calgary, Canada. It's just, I don't know, it's just the used market here is like very good. You can sell stuff relatively easy. You can buy stuff relatively easy. It's just a nice place to, like, for third party, like for selling stuff. And I just do that. I also sell stuff on Discord as well. So I thought, you know what, it's just going to be nice. I can sell this to someone who wants a really high-end machine but doesn't want to pay $4,000 for a pre-built from whatever company. You know, if there's some problem with it, they can come back to me. I can help them fix it, whatever. So anyway, so I bought that 7900 XTX for also very cheap. That's going to go to someone on Discord. I literally just bought it. And I was like, this is a crazy price. And they were looking for a GPU. They're in another province in Canada, which much higher taxes. And so I was like, you know, I'll just send it to you. Because they wanted some other stuff that they're buying of mine. So I was like, while I'm at it, I'll just throw a GPU in. And it's good for them. And I'll just, it's literally, I'm just selling it for the price I paid. So this stuff, you can see how thick this stuff is. It's like school glue, that white school glue, if not thicker. But it lasts forever. This TF8. I've been so biased towards this stuff since, I guess, 2020 when I first bought it. It's you don't get a lot in a little syringe. That's the only downside. Whereas Noctua, you get 3.5 grams versus 1.5 gram for the same price. So it's almost double the price. But it's enough for like 2 CPUs, I guess. 4080 Super, yeah, man. And it's just an open box. Like, it's like certified and everything. Found the Lenovo Legion 5i Pro Ryzen 7 7745HX with 47 for the same price as the 40 Intel. Yes, get the AMD. The CPU on the AMD is slightly more powerful. Waleed. Slightly more powerful. Close enough that it won't matter. AMD does a little bit better on balanced mode. It's a little bit more efficient. It will run hot, but it's supposed to run hot. So when you see that AMD running hot, don't worry about it. It's supposed to do that. And then you're getting the 4070 for free upgrade. I was using that exact computer you're talking about right now for 3 months when I sold my Intel, my AMD Slim to someone on Discord locally who couldn't find one. I sold them that at my cost, literally what I paid. It was brand new. I didn't even open it. And then I used your exact laptop you're talking about, the AMD, for probably 2 to 3 months. I picked it up locally, and it was nice because I never rocked the Pro for such a long period of time. If you watch my comparison of the 2022 versus 2023, I put that up maybe a month ago. That's the physical laptop that I was using. It's exactly what you're talking about. And I was very impressed with it. I feel like, I don't know. I'm always changing laptops, and then I go back to them, and I'm like, man, that laptop was actually really nice. Yeah. Georgia. That's how I work. If you guys know my style, I don't sell for profit. I'm trying to build community, right? Like, that's why I don't have sponsors, right? For now. Maybe eventually I will. I won't take sponsors until I can get sponsored by everybody. Because I don't want to have bias, right? And I don't want them to be like, well, we sent you this money, so you have to give us a good review. Like, get the fuck out of here, right? Like, if your product sucks, then your product sucks, right? Yeah, so this basically just mounts in there. Turn that so you actually see it. I think this should mount fine. Seems like it's mounting a little high right now. It's like very aggressive screws. Yeah, that's all. These are really nice to mount in. can confirm, Paul. Yeah. Yeah, I've sold so many laptops. I'm just like this like hustler who like loses money. I'm like the inverse hustler. I'm like, hey man, you want to buy like a brand new on warranty laptop I got a week ago for like 30% less than I paid, and I'll pay for shipping. I do a lot of stuff locally, big stuff. Like I'm not going to ship this to somebody. It's freaking heavy. It would cost like $300 in shipping. And some of the stuff I give away on Discord, like I did that Timu video. I don't know. I didn't feel like I felt weird about that video because it's this big mega corp. So I just gave everything away when I was done. Whatever. What am I gonna do with 4 keyboards? I think I kept I kept like a USB adapter, like one of these things. That's like the only thing I kept from that video. But yeah, man, like my whole goal here is to grow my channel, right? There's a few really good YouTubers out there, like Jared's Tech. Jared's Tech is fantastic, but he's a totally different channel than mine. He does only gaming laptops, pretty much only gaming laptops, and he's very comparative, very top level, high quality stuff, much more production value, but he focuses on a lot of comparative, like which is the best laptop for you, does that. Whereas I focus on user reviews. I get the laptop, I review it from how it would be if you used it, right? And so my goal is to keep doing that, grow my channel. I mean, I got 50,000 subs in 1 year, right? I started this channel randomly. I was just like, well, what else am I going to do? And people just started watching. And so like, I'm going to slowly increase my production value. Like I appreciate you guys hanging out with my low production value. I'm not going to be like super overproduced, but like, it would be nice to have some like good lighting and stuff. But like, I don't have anywhere in my house to do it, unfortunately. So I film half of my stuff at my kitchen table. And then the other half is in my like messy ass office, as you can see here. I actually removed my monitors for this video. I'll slowly improve my stuff. I got a 4K camera in the summer, so I'm slowly increasing stuff. But you know, my goal is to just make dope ass videos that people like. Lenovo has been sending me stuff for a while. They're fantastic. Gigabyte sent me 1 laptop. They're going to start probably hopefully sending me stuff. None of this is sponsored. They just send it to me. I'll review. They get free whatever coverage. I'm pretty honest about it, right? And I buy most of my stuff, so if they don't want to send it, tough shit, then I won't review it, basically. Yeah, I like watching people build computers. It's like the opposite of Linus Tech Tips, where he's just like breaking shit, running around. Linus is cool, I guess, but he's a maniac, so I can't hate on him because he's like a successful Canadian. And he started out like me, just like a retail bro. Yeah, you guys want to know anything? But I'm going to do like a question and answer. I did a community post. You can go back and read through my community posts where I'm doing like a question and answer video. Just talking about myself. Like what I do. But I'll just tell you guys, like, so I'm a Canadian, obviously. I'm doing my PhD. I do geography, remote sensing. Remote sensing is like satellite mapping, geography, that kind of stuff. And I just moved to Calgary and I got stuck here because of COVID, to be honest. My province is East Coast Canada, by Maine, if you're American. Got shut down and I couldn't go back. So I started buying stuff when I was here. And when I did that, I was like, why don't I film this stuff? Because I'm into tech. Like my field is techie. Very tech adjacent, to be honest. And I'm also just like a nerd. I'm a bit older than people probably realize. Like I'm almost 40. So I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. And I was just like, you know, people like to watch. I'm going to fix this after, by the way. I hate the way that's looking. But I'm going to have to take this out later. But I was like, people just like to watch like informative reviews. And I watched, like, there's a few channels that inspire me. There's one called V Westlife. There's LGR, if you know LGR. 8-Bit Guy. There's these like chill channels that focus on the content itself rather than the like max productivity. So I was like, why don't I focus on, like, I'm a teacher. I teach university, just so you guys know. I teach university sessionally. I'm not a professor. I'm a sessional instructor. And not this year. I took this year off, but I've taught for 4 years. I just freaking love teaching. So I was like, why don't I do it on YouTube? And like, yeah, teaching pays shit. So it's like, maybe the university will like pay less, but like YouTube will pay me more, which was also futile, but I enjoy it. So whatever, it's fun. All right, so I'm gonna bring the case out. I'm not gonna be able to do this whole build. I'm probably only gonna be able to do another like 10 or 15 minutes, but I won't finish this off camera. I will come back and do it probably tomorrow. This is fun. You guys can't hear me, but I'm doing a massive case here. Oh. Jesus. here. All right. I feel like this case is bigger than I remember. Makes me nervous. All right. So, this is my favorite case. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm going to try to get it on camera. This is my favorite case. I do base some of my case acquisitions off of Gamers Nexus because they do such good tests on things, but this one I've just used. So this is a Fractal Pop Air. This is the standard. There's also a Pop Air Mini. Pop Air Mini is just shorter. It's nice because it's not a huge case. It may look big on camera, but it's not a huge case. Turn that. Okay. So you can get 2 fans in here. These are 120 millimeter fans. I'm out of breath now. God, 120 millimeter fans. You can put in 140 millimeters, no problem, which doesn't make it run cooler, but 140 millimeter fans will make it run quieter because they need to work less hard to move air. So if you find your system loud, you can do that. You can put a full AIO 2 fan on the top there. What else is cool about this thing? Fan on the back. Long enough to easily fit the biggest card that exists, like a gigantic 7900 XT, 4090, no problem. That's cool. It's pretty cheap. These are like 100 Canadian on sale, 120 not on sale. It's about 70 to 85 American. I didn't get this on sale because I just wanted to build this on camera. Let's see. I got another question here. I do high quality videos. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, by the way. Cathode ray tube. Yeah, also very good. Yeah. Cathode ray tube dude is also a chill channel. Kind of retro-y chill channel. So I actually started my YouTube doing like retro-y stuff. If you go back and like reverse my video playlist, you'll see I started doing like PS Vita, PSP, DS. I did some like very retro laptop stuff, very simple. But I actually did like game testing, overclocking on like the Vita. I did a comparison video. Some of my most popular videos are actually like, I bought every single Nintendo DS that exists, like model that exists, and compared them, right? That was pretty cool. And then I was like, I'll do computers. Basically, to be honest, I don't want to like rip any channels, but I noticed there was way too much bullshit on YouTube. There's a lot of sponsorships. People, like I get offered money all the time, just so you know. Companies will be like, we'll pay you for your reviews. I say no. I actually don't even talk to them after they say that usually. Or they just ask, because some people I guess request it. They're like, yeah, I'll do a review, but you got to pay me $100, $200. I don't know how much it is, and I just say no. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of creators who don't know the tech. So they're like, I'm going to be a YouTube creator. What am I going to do? I'll do tech, which is fine, especially if you focus on user level reviews. But some of them get really into the weeds of like the technical stuff. And it's like, you're potentially misleading people. So I decided to basically, I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm like the opposite. I am like the worst creator, but I like tech. So this is the case here. These are really nice. You can get 2 SATA SSDs mounted here, which I'm going to do. I have these 4 terabyte boys here. I'll probably put one of them in for somebody, but you can put 2 of them on there. And this is what I find really cool about this here. You can get your power supply in there, obviously that's nice. You can mount these here. There's 2 of them, if I can get them out. It's just a really well-designed case. It's not special, but it's just well-designed. And you can see in here, you can put in 3.5-inch hard drives, which I will bring one in. Like this, right? Mount those in there, and you can actually raise them up, and you can put a 2.5-inch underneath. So you can put 2.5-inch, 3.5, 2.5-inch, 3.5, and 2 more. So you can put in 4 SATA SSDs into these cases, 2 hard drives, which is awesome. For someone like me who's like a storage hoarder, like a maniac, probably bad because it like feeds my desire to just have dozens of hard drives and SSDs. But I think it's good for some people. Like this one I'm selling, so it won't matter. But I'm trying to. So by the way, if you wonder what am I using as my main desktop, I've sold my desktop. I want to experience what it is to just rock a laptop, because I talk about laptops. That's probably the biggest draw of my channel is laptops. And how can I talk about only using a laptop as a daily driver, no desktop, just using like docs and that, unless I do it. So I'm going to do that for now. Eventually I'll build a desktop again, but you got to know what you're talking about. So here's another cool thing. You get a little secret compartment where you can hide your Cheetos. and your like partner won't know about it, you can take that out. You get a little drawer for your Cheetos, screws or what I actually put in here, and SSDs and things I don't want to lose. But you can actually put if you take out that thing that I mounted under here, you can put in a CD drive, which, I mean, it's 2024. Maybe you don't care about that, but I don't know. I feel like some people might want a CD drive. They're larger. It fits perfectly in there. So it's such a cool case. Bring back some, oh, there's a thing under there. Retro video. I've thought about it, man. Like, I have a desk full of handhelds. I have another Vita that's not on camera. I have, in my closet, I have more 3DSs. I have DSs. I have more PSPs. It's just, it's a dark alley to go down and get into retro handhelds. Yeah, it can get pretty bad, but maybe I'll do it eventually. So I'm gonna actually have to take a break. I need to go pick up my partner. I won't continue this, like I said, off camera. You guys seem to be enjoying it. I think I'll be able to do the whole thing in the next kind of just quick video stream, probably about an hour. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't see any problem with getting this whole thing done in an hour, getting it fully set up, installed Windows, tested it out. We can get maybe some benchmarks going as well on this here. So just so you guys know, I'll go over the specs again. It's going to be this right here, AK620 cooler. Underneath that is an Intel i9 13900 non-K, non-F. I stole it from a mini PC, which I think is massive overkill to be in there anyways. So I stole it. This one here took a 13700 i7 from another PC. So what I'm doing here is I'm shifting the whole stack up, and I'm doing this because I had all these random parts lying around. I've decided, you know what, let's put a PC together. And what kind of turned me into this was last night I went on the Memory Express here, Canada website, and I picked up this GeForce RTX 4080, 1,200 Canadian dollars, but I paid 1,000 Canadian dollars tax in. Actually, I think it was 1050 Canadian, which is under 600 American dollars, which is crazy. If you know, that's like a Halo Tough 4080. Normally I wouldn't buy a 4080 with the 4080 Super out, 4070 Ti out, AMD stuff dropping in price, but I thought, you know what, it's a really good price. And I actually went there. I went there an hour early and slept in my car for 45 minutes. And then I got up and like went in right away. And when I got in to buy the GPU, I kid you not, there was like 10 people behind me trying to buy this GPU. I got it with, hey, it's me again. I got it, this one here, the Tough, because I think it's just easy to maintain. The Tough here is like a Halo model from Asus. I think people are going to see this, they're going to want to buy it. Like, I'm selling this PC, and they're going to be happy with it. They also had a Gigabyte Wind Force, which is like a Water Force, which is a liquid cool one. It's just a little GPU that slots into the PCI, and then you have a water-cooled AIO 3-fan. But I was like, then I'm going to have to get a 3-fan case, which is going to be a pain in the ass. I want a small case. And if that thing leaks, I'm going to feel like shit if I sell someone a PC and the 4080 leaks into their computer and blows up. So I was like, you know what? And that one was 100 Canadian after tax. That was a crazy deal. That's like 520 American dollars for a Water Force 4080 Gigabyte, which is normally like double that. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be selling this to somebody. I don't want it to implode and then make myself look like an asswipe. So I decided to go with the air-cooled. Still a great price. So if you guys are thinking of building right now, I'll end up with this here. I would wait right now. Memory prices are really high. SSD prices are really high right now. Motherboard prices are really high. You can get really good prices on AMD CPUs right now. But the GPUs are going to drop. AMD is just about to take a huge drop soon on the 7000 very soon. And Intel will, or AMD will as well, because NVIDIA will as well, because NVIDIA is about to launch the 5000 series. They're kind of quiet because they don't want to cannibalize their sales. But when NVIDIA drops the 5090, the 4090 is going to go down. When they drop whatever it is, the 4080 is going to go down, the 4090 is going to go down a lot. So you're going to be able to get those higher end ones for a good price. I don't think the mid-range is going to drop for a while, because we're kind of at a point now where there's a lot of good mid-range stuff. The 7900 GRE from AMD is very good. I just put one in a system, used it for several weeks. That's the Golden Rabbit edition. Shockingly good GPU. And if you are looking to build, I would highly recommend that GPU. That's actually an AMD 7900M mobile GPU that you can only find in the Dell Alienware M18. That's the only system in the world that exists with that mobile AMD GPU for 2024. And they took it out of the Dell because probably they didn't sell very many. And they're like, you know what, let's put these into desktop coolers. So it has this 4080 mobile level GPU with this massive cooler on it. So it runs like 40 degrees, which is crazy. You can have the tiniest small form factor case and you get really good performance. But yeah, that's something to look at. Hey, Platon, Aviation. I'm actually heading out, guys. Yeah, so that was good. It was a really, I've never streamed before. I didn't know anyone would care to watch. I'm going to do this again tomorrow. I'll finish this up. There's a lot more to do here. All I've done is put in the CPU, unbox stuff, and talk way too much. So tomorrow we'll get this thing done probably in an hour, and we'll test it out and see what we got here for like, the cost of this system is going to be about 2,000 Canadian dollars, which is 1,400 American dollars. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining in. And tomorrow we will finish this.